Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to abuse aim assist. I think in order for you to understand how to abuse it, you really need to understand how aim assist works in the first place. The way it works is that when someone is stationary or they're moving like this, like a little tiny bit, aim assist will do all the minor adjustments for you to shoot at them, okay? This is exaggerated in game. Of course, I can't really show it in the firing range as properly as I want to, but when someone is not moving so much or whatever, the aim assist bubble sticks to them. And what's required of you is to basically barely touch your thumbsticks. I mean, at that point, you're not even moving it, you're just kind of lying your thumb on it and you're trying to slowly follow where the enemy could be, okay? But the rest of the aiming is done by the aim assist for you, okay? So I don't think aim assist is assisting you with anything, it's actually doing the aiming for you, and whoever tells you otherwise, it means they don't know how to abuse it. Send them this video because they'll probably learn a couple new things. Okay, so in order for you to abuse aim assist, the main concept, if you want to do it the raw way without no pay to win stuff, without modding your controller, without doing anything, then when you are engaging someone, try to minimize your input or try to put your ADS sensitivity to 0.8 or 0.7, basically. Something that's really low. That's in a way, when you're ADSing like this, it doesn't move that much. So you see now I am yanking my analog stick all the way to the right and all the way to the left. And you can see that it's not moving so much, right? It's really low. So that's one way of doing it, basically. The other way involves a couple things you need to edit on the controller itself and in the DS4 and on the DS4 profile, and also buying some stuff. So I highly recommend the DualSense Edge controller. I think the first thing to do is to find a controller that really fits your hands. Before the DualSense, I was using the Power A enhanced wired controller, which was not really a bad controller. It was really good, but when you get the DualSense or any PS4 controller, you will feel the input delay. The DualShock controllers are just a lot more responsive. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, so the first thing is to find a controller that really fits your hand. The second thing is you can buy precision rings. So I don't know if you can see or not, but here I don't have any precision rings, so the analog can move freely. And here I have a precision ring that's helping with the resistance and the travel time of the controller. By that means that if I apply the same force here and here, what happens is that this one will move significantly faster and significantly higher than this one. This one will only go like halfway through. It won't reach the maximum threshold of the traveling distance, but if you pull it all the way to the right, then it will reach the maximum distance. But if you are just trying to react in a gunfight or like panicking and so on, then it will not throw you off aim assist. What a lot of people don't know and a lot of people will not want to admit is that you can actually escape the aim assist bubble. You can do that by side canceling, by jumping out of it, by breaking someone's camera. And your job as the player is to basically make sure that the aim assist bubble is basically sticking to the player even when they escape it, okay? And in order for you to do that, you need to ADS out of the weapon and then ADS back in, right? So then you will be able to stick it even further. So this is the first thing. So the main objective is to minimize the impact of the right stick inside the game, right? But then not sacrifice moving fast and trying to react fast in situations. And this is what good players are very good at doing, is that when they are engaging someone, their input on the stick is really, really minimal to the point that aim assist is doing the aiming for them, right? But then when they have to run away or when they have to flick or react on time, then they can just move really fast with the controller. So the first thing you can do is get these precision rings. The second thing you need to do is, I mean, a lot of people have said to do this, is to change the aim curve to dynamic. Let me give you a quick word here on how the aim curves work. Okay, so let's say that we have two axes here. Okay, so this is the response of the controller in the game. and this is the traveling distance. Okay, so basically a linear curve would probably look something like this, or I don't know what kind of curve this is, but what this means is that if you move your analog stick a little bit to the right, it will have the same response in the game. It will go fast, right? Or it will go mid, or I don't know, depending on how high you set it, basically. So this is the traveling distance. So let's say a little move like this, that's like in the curve, that should be around here, right? A halfway move like this, that should be around here. And then an all the way move, like all the way to the right, that should be like around here. I would say that the precision ring, they limit the movement to here unless you really force it, you really pull hard, okay? So that's the first thing you need to understand. So with that out of the way, what the dynamic range, what the dynamic curve does is that it gives you this kind of curve, okay? Realistically, this is how it really looks, all right? What it does is that if you notice in the game, when you are moving your stick, it's like it starts slow and then it builds speed. I can't really show it like that, but if you can just look really hard how it starts like really slow and then it speeds, but it happens in a fraction of a second though, and that's all you need. I mean, the average TDK in this game is like 600 milliseconds, and so but you see, this is the first fix that you can do. You can immediately notice the difference when we change it to standard, for example, and this is actually a lot slower than what I am used to. Let's have a look, which is really bad. It means you cannot react in time. Linear, I think linear is the faster one, and it's also terrible. And you can see I have absolutely no aim assist because the input is so strong that the bubble doesn't even have time to actually stick on the targets. It kind of sticks when you are ADSing, because there is the ADS multiplier that's playing into it, but without the And then if we go back to dynamic, you can see that it's still fast, but absolutely not as fast as the other one. You can see the real difference here. So I'm still doing the same, and it's a lot stickier in a way that the response is a lot less. Okay, so this is what you need to do, right? You need to have a curve, ideally, that looks something like this. And how do you accomplish that? So when you change the dynamic curve, this is what's accomplished. The first one is accomplished. When you put the precision ring, this is what's accomplished, okay? You kind of enhance the response travel time to this level here. And then the last thing that you can do is to go into the DS4 windows and then go to the right stick, and then to change the output curve to enhance precision. And what that does is that it dampens the response curve even further. So it gives you an even longer traveling distance to work with. It means that up until this point, right, in the game, it's still registered as going really slow. And last thing that you can do is that you can go into the so I have a DualSense Edge, and on the DualSense there are the local profiles that you can change. And also here, if you go to stick sensitivity and you change it to precise, that dampens it even further, right? So that's basically how you abuse aim assist. It's kind of figuring out your settings, figuring out your controller, and maximizing the input curve so that it's not as responsive as it should be. And during gunfights, it will not look, you will not overcorrect, and you will not take the aim assist bubble away because you are panicking, which we do all the time, by the way, which is fine. But I noticed actually just by watching hand cams from professional streamers all the time, that when they are engaging someone, their hands and their analog stick moves a lot, but on screen it's actually like doing like this, right? It's not moving too much. And I'm like, how and why? Because when I started out and I would aim at someone and I react really fast, my aim would do this, and there would be no aim assist whatsoever, right? And then by doing all of that, you dampen down the response time the response in the game, and you increase the traveling distance on the analog stick, so that in a way that when you are trying to shoot at someone, you will get that sticky aim assist that everyone is talking about. I wouldn't, to be honest, call this cheating. I would call it as modding your controller, but it's not even modding your controller. You were just using tools that are available for you, that you pay for, actually. It's very similar to having a G502 and adjusting the DPI speed as well as the buttons on it. It's just available for everyone, it's just for someone to really know how to use it. It's someone to like really take advantage of this. I hope this video helps. After some time of noticing how strong aim assist is, you will eventually get used to it, and then you will be able to really flourish, because then like your brain will unconsciously register when aim assist is taking over and when aim assist is really helping you with aiming. And then after some point it will become like a second nature for you, and you will be able to have that kind of aiming you see in World Series of Warzone, or the aiming that you see streamers have, which a lot of people call cheating, but it's actually not cheating. It's just they are very good on sticks. Actually, you don't need any of what I just told you if you are just a good player, to be honest with you. Like if you are really good and you know how to minimize your input when you're shooting at someone, you will not be over correcting during gunfights and so on. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments, and yeah, see you.